I looked at like alternative services that kind of did the same thing, and heard from other people that, OddsJam is the most efficient and like
Yeah.
widely used one, and it's working great so far. So
That's amazing. That's so cool. Yo, what's up, guys? This is a new series I just started. I'm going to be talking with other OddsJam users about their journey, about how they got started, and less about why you should sign up and get started with OddsJam, but more so for people who are already on that subscription and they're going through some mental, doubts or hitting those roadblocks or something new to learn, or even just getting to join in on some other experiences that your fellow OddsJam users are having. I'm going to be talking with a longtime friend of mine who I actually used to go to high school with. We got out of touch and he saw a lot of my stories of me posting my monthly and daily winnings of OddsJam and arbitrage betting. And he swiped up and asked, "Hey, man, how are you doing this? How are you actually making money? Is this real?" Asking all the questions we all ask when we see something like this. And I basically hopped on a call with him shortly after and kind of explained to him exactly, what this is and how it's been treating me and how much money I've been making. And, I quit my job and everything. And you'll get to see everything in this chat I have with Charlie, where we talk a lot about that first initial couple of days, those thoughts that you get in your head. Is this gonna work? What happens if I get limited? Oh man, I can't even lock in an arbitrage bet. Is this possible? All these doubts that you have that go through your mind, a lot of these things that we have all the time, I still have to this day. So it's good to talk about these things, be transparent, and just show the truth when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? Essentially, this is risk free, right? But we all know there are areas for human mistakes and errors on our end. And we kind of just talk about how we can limit those mistakes and solutions that we have. Charlie asked me a couple of good questions at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. It's just a super chill convo, just like we were buds, got a coffee shop. That's kind of how I want this format to be, super transparent. We'll make it look better as we go, but I just wanted to hop on and get this started as soon as possible. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Here's the interview with myself and Charlie. All
but
right, let me get rid of
how's it
this.
going, bro?
Good, man. It's I didn't really get to bet that much yesterday, but what about you?
Um, Pretty good. I had a decent day yesterday. Like I said, though, I kind of had that fuck up in the morning, but um, it was good though. I had some good arbs in the morning, and then this morning it was nice, but I feel like sometimes the market's just moving really fast, and um, that's just how it was this morning. You know what I'm saying?
Was it just tennis stuff mostly?
Mostly
Yeah,
tennis, yeah.
yeah. Tennis is tricky.
Like sometimes, obviously, sometimes there's some stuff that it's just not available, but I feel like other times it is there. It's just like it's moving quickly, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Um, yeah.
how long has it been now? Like, how long have you been doing arbitrage betting?
Uh, what's today? The 13th, 12th,
It's the 13th. Yeah,
13th. So tomorrow will be a month, actually.
a month. Oh, damn. Okay, so time's going by
Yeah.
pretty quickly. A whole month. And how much? And how
Mm-hmm.
much? How much have you made off of just arbitrage bonuses, like everything? What's your profit?
Let me. If I take a look, am I gonna mess up the camera?
I don't know. Try.
Because I saw it go away for a second. You still see me?
I still see you.
So you still hear me?
Yep, still hear you.
Okay. Okay. Let me look. Let me look.
Yeah, I'm
Um.
curious.
So May. I was up 1121
Okay.
total for May.
1100 or 11,000?
1100.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. And that was just like you started
1100.
at what day in May?
14th.
On the 14th. Okay, so like in
Yep.
14 days you made $1,100
Yep.
basically,
1121. Uh-huh.
or like half a
Yep.
month. Okay, nice.
Yep. That was in the profit.
Damn.
And so far this month, I'm up $1,000.
Very nice. It's only 13 days. Yeah, so you're pretty consistent there. Like around $1,000 in like 13ish, 14ish days.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
Yep.
nice. Wow. Okay. I didn't even know. I hadn't even asked you how much you've been making, so that's really cool. How do you I mean, how does that
Yep.
feel?
I mean, it's good, dude. I mean, like I said, I'm just trying to be consistent with it and make like around 120 per day. And keep in mind too, like throughout these past, well, I guess this whole month,
Mm-hmm.
it's been like I've been really inconsistent with just having time to do it.
Yeah.
And so like, I mean, last week, like the 1st through the 7th, like I was barely arbing. Like I was working my other job too a lot.
Right.
And I just didn't have as much time and still, had some profit, made it happen.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I literally just made a video today, like a little short. I decided I'm going to start for my daily recaps. Instead of just posting a picture, I'm just going to do like a little video and kind of like break down what I did for that day. And
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really when I have losing days, I never really posted them, But I feel like it's a really good learning lesson to like be transparent
Yeah.
about those losing days. And like you were saying about being consistent, like yesterday, I only placed 2 bets. Probably took me 5 minutes, and I won one of them and I lost the other. But the other one was a little bit more money, so I ended up losing $36 yesterday. And it's about that consistency, right? Like, cause if I would have just stayed consistent during that day and at least bet for like an hour, probably would have been in the profit. But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really take it not as seriously, but I just didn't put a lot of time. So I guess it comes back to that, like, if you really want to make the most out of this, it's about that consistency, huh?
Yeah. It's consistency. And like, I think the fact that besides the very few times that you get screwed by the books in terms of odds changing or spread changing, like we talked about, it's really on you. And my biggest mistakes so far have been my fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
And which sucks, and like you said, makes it a learning experience, but at the same time you're also in position to bounce back from that like as much as you can, um, and which is cool too because it's kind of all on you
What are
in
some of
that way.
the mistakes that you were making?
um so the first one, I lost like almost 450 in one day. It was really tough.
Was that early
And
on?
yeah, that
Yeah.
was, let me see, that was like about a weekend on the 23rd of May.
Okay.
um I think I was having a decent day with it. I hadn't made too many bets that day, but um it came to the hockey game at night, and I think it was the Oilers versus the Dallas Stars.
Okay.
And um I was making bets, uh well, not to my knowledge, but towards the end of the game. And I think it was a spread bet. Let me check real quick. Um, let's see. Yeah, it was a spread towards the end of the game that um, I ended up locking in one side, and then the other side, uh, I did not have enough in my account to make the bet that I was going for. And I was quickly entering the details
Yeah.
to deposit, get the money in, so I could get the bet across. The one on the other side on DraftKings hits, and it locks up, and I'm not able to get the other bet on the other side. I think it was FanDuel. Wasn't able to get that across because it was the end of the game. The bets were locked. So I'm like, crap. Like, I pulled up the game, I think on like streams or something, and started watching, like, completely sweating. And um, I think Dallas ended up getting a penalty, and
Oh man.
that pretty much sealed the deal. And I had to cry myself to sleep that night.
Yeah, those. Oh man, I think a lot of people resonate with that. That's a pretty tough one to learn from, right? But sometimes we
Big
need
lesson.
those. Yeah, those are big ones. And was it because you didn't have money, the enough funds to take the bet? Like you had to add funds into the account, so it ended up
Yeah.
taking more of your time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, though it comes to like learning lessons, man, where you just want to make sure like when you're sitting down and getting started, you got enough money in all the sports books, everything's set up, you're signed in correctly, and then a big
Mm-hmm.
thing too is just always being aware of the clock, right? At what
The
period
clock.
the game is, yeah, and then on OddsJam now, which is great, is you can see what the stats are. Right now there's only tennis, so you can see what the set is, but when there's games with a clock, you'll see how much time's left. So always
Yeah.
paying attention to that clock, because when it comes down to the last 5 to 2 minutes in the game, a lot of those lines start to lock, like all the books start closing, and then you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, not even suspended. They fully
they're just
closed towards the
gone.
end.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
which sucks. But I would also, I mean, I personally don't have the monitor space to
Hmm.
work with to do this, but
Yeah.
maybe on your phone or something on the side. Just I think there's websites with like all sports, like live sports, like scores and
Hmm.
times and stuff, and it might be worth keeping up to keep an eye on.
Yeah, just having like the actual live feed of the sport game you're attacking there. That's a smart idea, especially yeah, like you're saying, if you don't have a lot of monitors. Yeah, I always keep Real, the app Real, Real. It's like a sport
Yeah,
app, so yeah, I keep that on my phone like at all times. Like I'm always looking at the games. So that's a
because
yeah.
that could affect like when you're if you're making an arb too, like, and the odds change and you're not able to get it through. Depending on what type of bet it is, like if there's enough time, like it might be worth waiting out for to get your arb chance again.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it was yesterday that I was making an arb. The odds switched like mid bet, so one
Yeah.
side went through, and I looked and saw that it was just like a straight up money line bet,
Okay.
and it was the first set of the whole game. So I was like, okay, I can wait this out and have my chance to profit again. And sure enough, I did.
Nice. So
I
you
think
were like,
I locked it in better than it originally was
so
too.
you got, yeah, that, I mean, that happens a lot, right? Where if you're just patient, sometimes the line will come back and you'll get lucky, and it'll be better than before. And then you'll get
Mm-hmm.
even more money out of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but once again, right, it comes back to at what point in the game is that going on, right? If it's
Yes.
early
Yeah.
on, you're good to just be patient. But at
Mm-hmm.
the end of a match, you might as well, if you can, just try to cut your loss and lose a couple,
Yes.
like $20-$40 if you have to. It's better than losing 400, whatever, like you said.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so that kind of takes me to what happened yesterday. So like I was telling you, but I uh, I was making a bet. The odds changed on me to where I think I would have lost like $50 or something,
Okay.
which looking back would have been a lot better than what happened. But what I was trying to do is uh, take the side where the odds were changing, wait for them to get better, and then make another bet on top of what I already made,
Yeah.
which was the minus $50 original bet. And I kept stacking these like bets on the same side, trying to make up for my loss. but little did I know I was just putting myself in a deeper hole because I was putting the money on the wrong side. I should have been putting it on the other side. And because the odds were getting better, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kept putting money on. And yeah, dude, I lost like 250. It was tough.
Damn. All learning lessons though, huh?
Yeah.
I
I
think
guess the biggest lesson for that would be like, don't, uh, you know, like kind of like you said, take the original loss. And if you really want to try to make up for it, make sure your mental math is on point.
yeah.
And use a calculator.
Yeah, right. I mean, the mental math saves a lot of time, but at the end of the day, it's just if you can, I still to this day I use the calculator all the time. I mean, I've been doing this for
Me
6
too.
months and I kind of know the mental math, but at the same time I'm always double checking. I'm always putting it in the calculator cuz I've also
Yeah.
been there, I've made countless errors where some nights I've lost like $1,000 because of a simple mistake where I could have just, used the calculator and cut my loss. I think that's where the emotion comes into this. The whole point of this software and the whole point of arbitrage betting, safe betting is to cut the emotion out of gambling, right? And
Yes.
we're only human though. Like it still gets in there, right? I've had times where I've got locked in on an arb and I've just let it ride because I'm like, oh, let's hope it wins and I'll win more. And then if it loses, man, it's not fun. Like you said, you cry yourself to sleep.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's all lessons, but and even looking at it like at the end of the day, like you're most likely still up. So,
Right, like you said.
um,
I mean, you're up quite a bit in just 30 days, which is awesome. And you just started. I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to ask you is like how'd you like how fast did you learn this learning curve? Like how long did it take you to really get a hang of this? And I know you're still learning, but like, you
still
know,
learning. Yeah.
yeah, of course I'm still learning, but I mean, how long did it take for you to be like, "Oh, okay, this makes sense, I can do this."
Um, it's a good question. I mean, obviously, everyone starts out. Um, it's kind of like a wave in a bit. Like you start out, you obviously convert all your promos, um, which is free money essentially,
Yeah.
and um, and then you start arbin. You hit your first days of like huge arbs, and it feels great. Um, and and then I started to feel like I was getting the hang of it, and maybe thought it was easier than it was, because then I made that mistake, and I was like, whoa. I realized you know I'm putting 300 on each of these sides for these bets, and it's real stuff at stake, and um, and then you learn how fast you have to be. You learn that you're not going to lock everyone in, and you pretty much just have to try to get all of them until you get an opportunity to actually get one, and then you get it. And then, like I said yesterday, there's kind of like it's like a mind game in a sense, to where you have to like gain back your confidence in a way, and then keep going. And then I realized like the best thing to do is just stay focused on being like consistent with it. Like I said, like making $100 a day or 120 or whatever. And I feel like I'm in a spot now where it's definitely getting I'm getting more comfortable with it. That's for sure. But still got a long ways to go.
Yeah. And I remember when you first a couple days in, you were just saying how I think the first day you weren't even able to get the first day you were on the plane, you weren't even able to get an arbitrage bet in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was spamming your phone with like
Like
stupid questions.
but they're good questions cuz I mean, it's it's true. I mean, as you can see now, you definitely don't get a lot of them in compared to the ones you're seeing, right? It takes the consistency of just staying on that screen and getting over that
Yeah.
discouragement of, oh my god, I can't lock anything in. They're moving so fast, and then you finally get your
Yeah.
first one in, and you're like, okay, let's do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very. It feels good, and like yeah. I mean, I think I do remember telling you the first day, like, dude, this moves so quick. Like, I don't know how this is even possible.
Yeah.
And there still are like a lot, most of them that like I said, move quick, and you're not able to get them in. But um, the faster you get, the more you'll start to get the ones that maybe you weren't able to get before. And like I said, some are just too quick. Like some change before I even
Mhm.
open, before I click it down.
Yeah. And
Um,
I gotta ask you,
it's like fishing
it is like fishing. I'm not a great
a
fisher.
little bit.
My dad and I, we go fishing, and we've determined now we can't catch anything, but we enjoy just sitting there and casting and
Yeah,
enjoying the moment. But yeah, no, it is like fishing, right? You sit there for 5 hours, and finally something gets your line, and it makes the whole trip worth it, right?
yeah.
So same thing with arbitrage. That's a good analogy for sure. I guess I wanted to ask you too, uh, like what made you continue after 7 days? Like after the trial, and
Mm.
you were starting out kind of like rough, and you weren't able to lock things in. You were asking these questions, right? These that everyone asks, like how is this possible? He's moving too fast. You were making some mistakes. You were losing money on something that's essentially risk free. Like what was going through your mind? And you were like, yeah, I want to know like what made you continue this journey.
Um, I think a lot of it for me personally was like um, the timing in which I discovered it. Um, like I guess at the time I'm moving pretty soon to Texas, so and I live in Illinois. Um, but I stopped working at my old job, and so I kind of needed something over these next couple months in between moving and stuff, um, some like extra income for the summer. And um, I had been hearing about you obviously for months,
Yeah.
and like couldn't believe it in a way, Um, and finally just decided like, I mean, I trust you enough too. We know each other, and
Right.
um, so I started doing my research and looking into it and everything, and hearing about other people doing it, and watched a lot of your live streams too. I know you saw me in there,
Yeah.
um, but just kind of learning it and like getting more comfortable with the just how it works and everything, and then yeah, so I started the trial, um, and then I think also too I just kind of ran the numbers, even if I just did like the promo conversions, like I would have had profit, like
Right.
at least for my first month or whatever. So, um, and so I was like, you know what, why not? And so I stuck with it because I had a really good few days within that free trial period
Mhm.
that I was like, even if it doesn't stay this consistent in terms of profit, like it will yield more than subscription for me. So,
Right.
um, and I mean, part of it, yeah, was just kind of like taking a chance with it, honestly. But I think I was ready to invest in something that would, you know, bring in profit coming back. So,
Yeah. And
um,
how much
so yeah,
how much time do you usually put in like per day?
um, I'd say like a couple hours
Couple hours.
for the most part. Maybe between 2 and 3 because I like to do it in the mornings too now at tennis and stuff, and it also is just kind of a weird time of the year for
For sure.
for
It's
legends.
like a
So
slower month, and it's going to be a couple slow months, but all in all, I mean, you're still making good amount of money in that short amount of time spent, right? That's not bad. And you're still doing your thing, still working,
Yeah.
still going about your day and spending like 2 or
Hmm.
3 hours. A lot of people spend like 2 or 3 hours scrolling, TikTok and are doing something else that's not really feeding their pockets. So,
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it kind of gave me more security and like giving me time to do what I want to do, which personally is music. But
yeah.
I think for anyone listening, obviously it'll give you more security to have time to do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. I can't wait to see how it goes down in Texas. I hope you continue. Obviously, I want to do another one of these where we can like see how you're doing. I'm excited for that. I know a couple people down in Texas are doing fairly well, so maybe you'll be one of
Yeah,
them.
I hope so, dude. I'm gonna really give it a shot. But like I said, I feel like it's not hard to at least be somewhat profitable, um, no matter where you are, and even off of like a couple hours a day.
Hmm. Yeah, so I guess I would ask you too. This is what would you tell somebody? Because I think a lot of people are scared of the cost, right? It's a pricey thing, like $500 a month. So
Yep.
what would you say to somebody who's like, man, that's just too expensive. Like, I don't think I can do that.
Um, I mean, I feel like that's only looking at uh, what it gets out of you versus what you get out of it,
Mm.
you know, because even if I'd have to do the math on this, but like even if you made, what would $50 a day put you at
fifty
for a
dollars a
month?
day. I know, $100 a day gets you like 3 grand, but let's say 50 times 30. That gives you 1,500. So,
Okay, so that's 1,000 profit right there,
right.
and that's 50 for arbing a day. If you put in, you could probably get that in like an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Right. You could
Like
almost
when
get
you're
that on
starting
one
out.
bet. You could, right?
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. Honestly, yeah. Um, uh, and so like, I mean, if you look at what you're getting out of it, I feel like I don't know, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So it's interesting how that it's almost like a human psychology thing or something where I don't know what it is. I think you hit it on the head at the beginning where people are worried too much about what it's getting out of you instead of thinking about what you can get out of it. I mean, the price is there for a reason, right?
Yes.
I love seeing you popping into the stream and uh,
Yeah.
engaging in there. That's fun, and then it's good to hear that it's going well. I guess before we like wrap it up, do you have any kind of questions or like any anything?
Honestly, yeah. This is kind of random, but
Yeah.
I that's what I texted you about with the specific promo conversion. Um, so I just signed up for Bet 365, and
Okay.
it gives me two options as a new customer. Um, two promo options. One being you can bet up to 1,000, and if you lose, you get uh, your wager in bonus bets up to $1,000, which is nice. Um, and then there's another one where it's like bet any amount over $5, win or lose, you'll still get bonus bet of 150.
Mm.
And so I'm like, okay, well, obviously, I feel like I can get the most value out of the $1,000 in bonus bets
Right.
versus
150.
150.
Uh huh.
But to to hedge a bet for $1,000 means I have to put like at least 2 point something grand on the other side, which one, I
Well,
either can't get down because of a limit, or two, I don't want to put down to get limited. So
gotcha.
I'm kind of in a weird spot to where I don't know which one to do.
So it you have to lose that bet on 365 to get that wager or no?
Yeah.
So it has to, you have to lose it. And you were trying to look at conversion for it, or were you looking at the ARB?
Yes.
So my recommendation would be to just because it's not the $1,000 you put in is not bonus bet, right? It's your money, and you're getting the
Yes.
bonus bet if it loses. So
Yes.
I would suggest just trying to arb that side. And like you're saying, you're worried about the limit. The amount isn't really what gets you limited, if I'm being honest with you. It's just the type of bets, right? I mean, I wouldn't be too worried about that. I feel like, especially if you do it once, and even on a bigger book, if your first bet is like $2,000, they might even think you're a whale or something, and who knows? Maybe they're excited for you to keep betting those large bets. I mean, I would suggest just trying to go on the ARB page and try to get the Bet365 side to be on the underdog, like the favorite, plus 200 odds or plus 170, something you're kind of hoping will lose, so you can get that money on Bet365. So the other side will win, and then you'll lose on Bet365, but then you'll get the bonus bets that you can then convert. Um, there could be a couple books that you haven't opened yet that maybe you could open up and try to get that much money down, because on a fresh account you'll be able to get that much money down. Uh, and even on
A
some books,
thousand.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's not the problem, but I think the whatever I were to hedge it with would have to I would have to put a lot more
mm-hmm,
than 1,000 on,
yeah.
and I just don't know if I'm able to do that with most books. Besides, like, ones I'm not limited with.
Mm.
But yeah, I guess that was
Well, some it's like
yeah,
FanDuel, for example. If you're limited, some of the main lines you'll still be able to get down. Sometimes a couple of grand, especially on these playoff games where the limits are actually fairly increased. So you
yeah.
might get lucky there. Obviously, it's gonna take some time. Like you might not even get it on the first day, but if you set like a really specific filter so that it's just Bet365 and FanDuel, and you're looking
On the
for
ARB.
right on the ARP, like you can go tonight and not even like try this out, but you could go tonight and just when the game's on, like OKC or the Oilers are on, NHL or MLB, whenever any game's on, just go to the money line when it's live and just type in a giant number just to see what your max is and see what they're maxing you out. Because if it's more than like 2 grand, you should be good. And just, set up a filter on the art page where it's FanDuel and Bet365 and just wait and hope that a main line pops up where it's the underdog on Bet365, which is most of the time. Bet365 is really soft. It's a really soft book, and their lines are always off, and it always does seem to be on the underdog side. So you might get lucky there where when you're hedging it against like a sort of sharper book live like FanDuel, where you might see more of those opportunities. And like I said too, you could open up a new book, open up a Bet Rivers or MGM or whatever book Caesars. If you haven't opened up any of those, I mean you're in Illinois, so you have a bunch of books there, and you'll be able to get down 2 grand for sure, no problem. I mean, like FanDuel, if you log out, if you go onto FanDuel and you don't log in and go to a bet and type in the number, that's how much money a fresh account can get down. And you'll see like a lot of times it's like 10 grand, 20 grand, like they'll let you get down a lot of money. So
Yeah.
so just I would suggest doing that because yeah, I remember I did that with Bet365. I had that same promo, and I
Mm-hmm.
specifically lost Bet365 on purpose. I tried it and it worked, luckily, so I got those promo bets. But yeah, I remember I did it on. I think I mean, I could see if I could pull it up, but it's been a long time. I started in November, but it was it had to. I think it was against Caesars, if I'm being honest, because I already had a Caesars account up at that point, and it wasn't
Yeah,
limited, and it was the main
gotcha.
line. It was like a spread, I think, and it was a college basketball game because that was college basketball was going on. So I had a lot more opportunities than you'll get for uh, these bets to pop up, but I did I did manage to get one in. So I could say before you even if have you already done the conversion? Like, have you already deposited into 365 at all
I deposited, but I haven't put anything down, like bet wise.
for the thing? Do you know when the promo ends? Like how long you have
I think next week. I think.
next week? Yeah, so like I would say today, like try to just set up a filter and test it out and see if one of these bets will come up. And at the end of if there's like 2 hours left on the promo, you might as well just take the other one.
Yeah, so do it on the ARB page and not the promo page.
Do that on the art page. The only on the promo page is when you actually get the bonus bets. Then you can start using that on the promo page.
Gotcha.
But if you want to
Gotcha.
purposely try to lose that side, like there's a DraftKings promo going on right now too. I need to do myself where they want me. I have to lose that side, and or it might be win. It might be the opposite where I need to win that side. Which means I want to try to place it on a heavy favorite. So I'm on the opposite side of you, but I want to place a favorite, and in order for me to get the $300 in bonus bets, because if it loses, I won't get it. So a lot of these books are doing those kind of promos now, probably for whatever reason they're being stingy, but. Yeah, I would suggest just using the art page, and then the only time really to use the promo page is when you actually get those promo bets or the boosts or anything. But if it's your own
Gotcha.
money, yeah, just arb with it.
Gotcha. And put the whole 1,000 down.
Put the
Or
whole.
as
I mean,
much.
as much as as much as you want. If you want to get the whole bonus bets out of it, then yeah, put the whole 1,000 down. But like I said, go check out FanDuel and see what the limits are. If it's a lot, then you can do that. If you don't think you're gonna be able to, then maybe open up another book like Hard Rock or another like Caesars, BetMGM, and they'll let you get one of those down. At the end of the day, like I said, one bet's not gonna get you limited, and you'll be good. I think.
Yeah. The only thing I want to protect is DraftKings because that's
Yeah.
my biggest money maker, obviously.
Yeah, so just try not don't place it on DraftKings if you don't want to then, but there's a lot of other, like, especially if you already have a limited FanDuel. Like I said, just go there first and see if you can get something out of it. And if you can't, then just open up a Caesars or something and just put like 2 grand in it, or put
Yeah.
whatever you can to try to get the most out of that conversion, cuz I mean, yeah, $1,000 in promo that's a free $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, that's a good idea. I opened Caesars and MGM already. Bet Rivers has been really nice with tennis,
Nice.
especially with the DraftKings.
Yeah, Bet Rivers DraftKings. For sure.
Yeah, really nice. And so, yeah, maybe I'll open something else. I was having problems with Hard Rock for some reason, like with the whole sign up thing. And I had to like send in like extra documents or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was being weird. So, yeah. So I'll have to take a look and see.
Yeah, do that. Try it out. Send me like a text or something too if you're want to figure it out. But I think that's what I did, and you should be able to get the most out of that, I think. But at the end of the day, right, if you have to, just even if it's like put down $500 or put down, just get something, right?
Yeah. I was thinking about cutting it down too.
Yeah.
Didn't feel confident in 1,000.
Yeah, if you nothing's popping up in a couple days, just be like, all right, man, let's just cut this in half. I'll try to place $500 down. At least I can get 500, $3.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and talking with me. It's been cool. I want to start this series. I think I told you yesterday, but I want to start talking to a lot of people and just get their experience. I think there's a lot of content out there trying to get people onto OddsJam and using it, which is all great. And I do the same thing, but I think it's really valuable to try to help and keep people that are already paying or are on the start of their journey or in the middle of their journey or hell even they're advanced. I think you can still always learn something. So I wanted to make content like this where it's kind of just like transparent. We're talking like as like we're at a coffee shop or something, and we're just like shooting the shit about how to get the mental emotions out of it, keep rolling, stay consistent, learn from each other. I mean, I think it's all pretty good. So I'm glad that this was the first one. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, thank you. I think the last little question I had was the extension you told me about. I didn't see it on Firefox for some reason.
On fire. So I think I actually had made a video on this, and my SD card snapped in half. So I'm gonna have to redo that, but it's called Tab Mania now. So
Gotcha.
if you go on,
so not I got the tab one, but the limits one.
oh, or Odds Boom. So
Yes,
it's on
For some reason, I didn't see that on there.
Odds Boom. Let me see if I can find Odds Boom extension. So here, I'll put the link in the chat. Let me see if I can do this. Is there a chat here? Yeah, there is. So here's the link for that. And it also has like a description thing there as well. You can read it to understand like what it does. But yeah, that it helps for those who are limited on DraftKings and Caesars. It shows you your limit, so it can save you time and it's nice.
MGM's like that too.
Yeah, so it should help a lot. Yeah, it's a cool extension. Anything else?
Not really. That's coming to mind.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, yeah, no, that's pretty good. I think that's a good place to stop. I mean, we had a good convo for sure. If you have any more questions, you can text me, obviously. I want to keep in touch, obviously. We're going to be doing some other things besides OddsJam and keep this connection going. I'm glad this thing brought us back together because it's pretty cool to see. I think a lot of people, when I post my daily recaps and how much I make on Instagram, there's people who like swipe up and say like what is this, or they just like heart it or say like this is crazy. And a lot of times I explain it to them. Most people don't, say anything back. They just move on about their day. But then there's the select few like yourself who are like, dude, like, can we hop on a call or something? Like, explain to me what this is. Like, how are you making this money?
It's because it's sports betting, dude.
Yeah.
When people hear that, it's like betting. I think that's the word, bro. That just tunes them out.
Yeah, that's why it's like I've been trying to target myself when it comes to who I want to target is just normal people, and I don't want to use that kind of like lingo of betting or arbitrage betting, sports betting. Like, I just want to say like this is like arbitrage, which is like a thing in other areas. It's just like an investment. It's risk free. It just so happens you're doing it with sports. Like, you don't have to know anything about sports. You're not gambling. You're just putting a position on both sides of a match, and no matter the outcome, you're getting a profit.
It's funny because like my friends here that I've told about like what it is and what I'm doing and stuff,
Yeah.
like they'll all send me like screenshots of their parlays, like, oh, what you hitting tonight? And I'm like, bro, it's not like that.
I know, man. I had a couple people like that. Like, send me your plays. Send me your plays. Like, what parlay are you putting down, or what are the
Yeah.
plays today? I'm like, dude, it's like, all right, and I'll send them some EV plays or something, not even an arbitrage play, and it
Yeah.
might lose or something, and they're like, dude, like this, you just losing me money. I'm like, this is not how it works, bro. Like, you gotta,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, no, this is not any get rich quick scheme. No $5 to 100 grand parlay.
It does. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It still feels like a easy money scheme thing that like
Yeah,
it's really like not. It's not that hard
it's not,
to
man.
make money.
Once you get like into it, once you jump off that ledge of, oh, I'm gonna get limited. There's no point. Oh, the subscription cost is too expensive. Like, people have been doing,
Even if you're scared of limits, just like go do it, get limited, and then walk
and
away with your
walk
money.
away if you want, right? At least you're gonna make a profit. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the people that are scared of limits and they even know what limits are people who are already sports betting, and if they're worried about limits, they're not winning. You know, they're not winning.
Yeah.
If you win, you get limited. That's just how it works. Sportsbooks
I
don't
think
want you to
yeah.
win.
I think the thing I have to remind myself too sometimes is like they're not gonna take your money after you make it.
No, right.
Like that's like when you were kind of telling me like get all that you can right now. Like for some reason there's like this thought in my head that's like, what if they like take it
Just
the
take my money.
back? So, like I make it, but like it's not real or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it once it's yours, it's yours. And,
Right.
I mean, isn't it like against the law for them to like?
Yeah, no, it's like
take
if
the
you go
money
to a
from your
casino and win a blackjack hand or some shit, or play roulette and win 100 grand, it's yours, man. They gotta give it to you. That's just the rule of the
Yeah.
game, right? You placed a bet, you
Yeah.
won. Yeah, no, there's only a few like weird, like Fliff, for example. Some people have issues with Fliff and withdrawing their money, but it's in the case of how long it takes. They're getting
Yeah.
their money, but it's taking about like 4 months or something, which is crazy and a little bit like shady. But at least
Yeah.
they're like, it's not like Fliff is like, okay, boop, bye, thanks for your money, you know.
Yeah. I don't think that's legal.
Right, no, and it's not
Is
like
it?
you lost a bet. It's sitting in your account, right? It's your money. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I've never had an issue with a book taking my money or not letting me get my funds. You know, everything's baked into it. There's books that have like 20x rollovers, some of the offshores, where if you try to get their sign up bonus, and it states it, they tell you. So you just have to read the fine print. Like it says, if you accept this bonus, you have to play through however much you deposit 20 times. So if you put in
That's crazy.
$1,000, you have to wager that 20. You have to do $20,000 basically. You have to that. So you're getting the bonus, but then also you got to remember, now you're gonna have to bet through your money 20 times to be able to withdraw. But they're gonna let you withdraw when that time comes, always. But that's the only like the book took my money is if once again you kind of fuck yourself over, right? It's all on you, really. The books, yeah, no, they're
Yeah.
not taking any money from you.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the biggest mistakes I've made have been human error to where I could have prevented them. So
Yeah,
it's the way it is.
it's all human error for sure. It's just a learning lesson. I mean, I think there's been times where the software might be a little slow and like a spread might change or something, but at the end of the day, it's up to me to see that
check
and to
that.
realize that. But if you get too comfortable and like, oh, OddsJam's making me so much money, like, and you're not even paying attention anymore, it'll get you for sure. So yeah, you always just want to, you know, it's like my Tesla, my self-driving car, right? It's self-driving, but I'm not just gonna go to sleep and let it drive me. There's no fucking way. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna watch the road, because there's times where I've had to like turn it off and move out of the way because it might have not seen the gate that's in the road from a farmer's market that it's not accounting for. It's just trying to take me to my route, and it's about to drive me through a fucking gate and run over 30 people. Like, you know, sometimes it's just,
Same thing.
yeah, like automation and AI and all this stuff is amazing, but at the same time, it's not there yet where we can just take our hands off the wheel and let it
Oh
go,
yeah.
right?
I don't know if it will be ever.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, hopefully not, because then none of us are gonna have a job or any money. But
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Yeah. No, that's true. So it
I
sucks.
I appreciate you coming on, and yeah, let's keep in touch. I mean, I think this is a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah. Thanks for talking, bro.
Yeah, of course, man. All right. Well, yeah, keep in touch. Let me know how it goes. I'm excited to see your journey, especially in Texas. That's going to be really cool. That's a state that a lot of people have questions about. So we'll keep in touch, and we'll make sure you start making a lot of money over there, because that's going to be really big. And we'll do a part 2, and we'll see how much money you're making over there.
I'll be the lab rat.
All right, man. All right. Peace.